Washington Avenue Grill is a favorite spot on the south side of White Rock, British Columbia, overlooking the beach. However, it's also a place that's very haunted. A tragic story of two young lovers, a young boy and his girlfriend who had vowed to spend their lives together, until one Valentine's Day. They were out for a walk, they kissed goodbye, and she stepped out into the street, and then was killed almost instantly when she was hit by a car. Her boyfriend was devastated. Just a few days later, nobody knew it at the time, but he committed suicide by walking out into the ocean. They didn't know until his body washed ashore a few days later. The ghosts of the unfortunate young couple are seen quite often, leaving the small cemetery adjacent to the Washington Avenue Grill. They sometimes wander right in, scaring the daylights out of the staff, who know who they are, but really aren't expecting to see them there.
One night after work, I was cleaning up, and I sat down by the window and looked out. And out of the cemetery came this dark figure of a man. And he was walking towards this building, and I was very scared. And I heard footsteps coming up the side of the building, up to the restaurant. And I was listening and looking, and there was nothing. The footsteps had stopped, and he had disappeared. And apparently the girl had been buried 2 days before that. And I guess he had been visiting her in the restaurant. All of these things tend to happen when I'm by myself after the restaurant is closed. I think they want to get my attention somehow. Not everyone in the restaurant sees them. So I guess they're fond of me.
I'd heard the stories, and I'd read the back of the menu. It's an old mill. A lot of weird things have happened here. There's a graveyard just over there. But I never really put a lot of faith into it, until the one day when it was a little bit stormy outside and I was here by myself. Went about my closing routine, and I went to the back of the restaurant, and I noticed that the lights were kind of flickering and stuff, and I thought, well, that's strange, but, you know, the power goes out a lot here, and I thought, well, you know, whatever, it's an old building. And I noticed that the lights in the bathroom were just flickering like crazy. And I thought, well, maybe that was my friends, you know, maybe somebody's playing a joke on me, so I went in to check it out. And I walked into the bathroom, I checked both of the stalls, which are along the one side. And as I turned around and I looked in the mirror, there was a reflection, and the reflection wasn't mine. And so I ran straight down the stairs, and as I was running down the stairs, the lights were still flickering. I ran out, I closed the door, I didn't set the alarm that night. I just walked out into the parking lot, and as I was sitting in my truck and I looked up, all the lights in the whole restaurant were just going off and on and off and on. It was really scary. I didn't want to ever have that happen to me again. I quit. It's too creepy to be here by yourself.
My name's Patrick Clancy. I was a waiter here at the Washington Avenue Grill around 3 years ago. The staff and I were relaxing after work one night when we closed the restaurant down. And we were witnesses to an apparition that came and visited us one night. We were basically sitting around a table, and we heard some noises off to our right. We all turned around to see what was causing the noises. It was an apparition of a young girl. The three staff members that had been sitting with me, they got up and left because they were scared. But I sat there and watched as this apparition moved across in front of me, approximately 20 or 30 feet away, and she suddenly disappeared.
my husband and I came to dinner here, and we were sitting in the central part of the restaurant when the waiter came across, and he was giving us the specials for the evening, when a movement came into my hair, something like that, and I got quite a startle. I was startled because there was nothing in the room. I turned my head, the apparition was right here, and I then realized that he must have done that to my ear. And the waiter then got all excited, and he went away and brought back a pamphlet that the Washington Avenue Grill had printed, explaining that there was a gentleman who made his appearance every now and again, and that people had seen him. I have no idea if that was him or not. I just know what I saw and what I felt. In December of last year, and we were having a Christmas party at the Washington Avenue Grill. For a period of time during that evening, an apparition, I don't know if it's the same person or not. Later on in the evening when I looked, he was gone. I didn't see him again.
One night I was closing up by myself late at night, and I saw a man walk across the room and turn around the corner, and I went to go follow him, and no one was there. He had disappeared. And the next moment he was on the opposite end of the room, and the lights started flickering on and off, which happens a lot. Every time there's a ghost around, the lights flicker.
I'm Kim. I've been working here for about 3 years now, and I don't know that I've ever actually seen the ghost, but I've definitely felt him, like he's actually touched me. Like on this one occasion, I was here by myself late at night closing up, and I was taking some plates into the kitchen, and I put them down, and then I went to the sink to wash my hands. And when I went to wash my hands, it was as if somebody pushed me from behind. So I turned around, but there was nobody there. But I could feel as if somebody was still standing there watching me. I just couldn't see him. On another occasion, I was in here working with, it was late at night again, and we were standing there and we heard footsteps. We knew we were the only people in the building, but there was definite footsteps, and they walked past us down the aisle, and then they walked away. And we both looked at each other, and as I said, "What was that?" As soon as I said that, somebody swept all the dishes that were off the table onto the floor, just totally cleared the table. And then it was dead silence again. Neither of us could explain what it was. These two experiences I've just spoken about were frightening. They were my first couple of experiences, and then after that, again, I would hear some other noises, or the lights would flicker, things like that, but I sort of got used to it, and it just sort of became part of working here, having this ghost around.
Well, you got all the elements you need here to have a situation that's going to produce ghost experiences for people. You got a very interesting, almost romantic story of two teenagers who die close to the building, and I'm sure over time this takes on all the features of an urban legend. Probably the details themselves become changed over time. Who knows what the original story was? But nonetheless, you've got a building there where people go with the expectation that there might be something strange going on. And this sets suggestibility afoot, and of course anything that seems strange is going to be interpreted in terms of this legend, this story about the deaths. And then given what human suggestibility does, we come to interpret not necessarily strange events, but odd sounds, odd sights as signs of ghosts.
People wonder why restaurants are so haunted. One of the reasons, perhaps, is that people believe that ghosts occur when there's been a concentration of energy. Over a long period of time, many, many people leave their energy imprints. If it's a single house, there haven't been that many people there. But in a restaurant, lots of people come and go. And inevitably, some of their energy remains behind.